Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and today I'm going to show you how to build a starter house in Minecraft 1.21. Since it's the new update, I thought I could use some of the new blocks for this house, however most of them are copper and tuff. Copper isn't exactly super easy to gather in mass quantities for a starter house, so for this one it's mostly just tuff blocks and wood. You can find a full list of materials down in the description below. The first thing we're going to do is grab some chiseled tuff bricks and we're just going to place 2 of them down right here with 2 blocks in between, and that is where our doorway here is going to go at the bottom of the house. Then to the right of these doors we're going to add 2 more tuff bricks, then we're going to come around to the side and add 4 more, so it's 5 blocks long, and then along the back here we're going to add 5 more, so it's 6 blocks long, and then just 3 more here. So essentially the foundation of the house is 5 by 6. Then on top of all of these blocks we're going to add 2 more tuff bricks and then afterwards mix in some regular tuff. Now of course you could just mix it in as you go if you don't want to gather more resources to begin with, but it's just a little bit easier here for the sake of the tutorial. So above the doorways here, we're going to have 2 upside down stairs. And as I said, if you want to mix in the tuff now or do it as you go ahead and do that part, or leave it just a second and we're going to place some more tuff over here to build a staircase. Then once the staircase is built, we'll just go around and mix in the regular tuff. But once again, you can do it as you go. There's no reason not to. So starting on the bottom right hand corner here, just next to this chiseled tuff, we're going to place 3 of the tuff stairs. Then we're going to add a full block just next to all of them like this, and just add some more here to complete this triangle. Then round the back we'll have 2, 2, 2, and then 2 more at the top here to give us this staircase. And then just to kind of raise up the side a little bit here, we're going to add in a slab on top of these 3 blocks, skip this one, but have 1 more over here. And now essentially is when you can go around and just mix in some of the regular tuff, not forgetting to change out some of the stairs and the slabs too. And I like to just try and get roughly a 50-50 mix. However, make sure you keep the chiseled tuff blocks at the bottom. We're only switching out the brick blocks for the regular tuff. So when you've done that, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. Of course, if you'd like, you can pause the video and copy it exactly as I've done, but there really isn't a science to it. You're basically just mixing the 2 blocks together. The only thing I will mention before we move on to the next step is just behind the staircase here, you might want to fill in these 3 blocks or just place a torch there. Otherwise, that is a spawning spot for mobs and you might get a zombie just groaning behind the wall, which is never a good vibe for a home. To start for the top level of the house, the very first thing we're going to do is just grab an oak door and put it on the back of this block, so just to the side of this top stair. And then on all of the other blocks going around this rectangle, we're going to place in a bunch of spruce planks, making sure we get every single one. Of course, not the doorway though. Then on the outside of these spruce planks, we can just go ahead and place some spruce trapdoors. And once we make our way all the way around, stopping here, of course we can't place one on the front of this one because there's a block in the way, we can go ahead and just fold them down to make a nice border, closing off the tuff with the rest of the wood in the build. Next up, on all 4 of the corners here, we're going to go ahead and place down 3 spruce planks to give ourselves 4 pillars. And then on the outer 2 sides, so here and here, essentially where we have the trapdoors, we're going to place down 2 spruce buttons. So just on the outer block, not on the inside here, as we're going to be placing other blocks there. Starting with what I'm calling the front of the build here, where we have our double doorway, what we're actually going to do is just step down here and we're going to crouch and we're going to place down 4 upside down barrels, and we're placing them in upside down because when we have our window here, we get this texture instead of this one, which just looks a little bit less like a barrel and more like a normal building block. Then what we can do is grab some stripped oak logs, crouching of course when you place on the barrel. Just place 2 of them either side with 2 horizontal in the middle. And as for our window, we're just going to need 2 temporary blocks in front of the barrels and then 2 oak trapdoors folded shut, and just remove the temporary blocks. Then round the other side of the build at the back, we can go ahead and do the exact same thing. But now coming to this side here, so opposite to our doorway, we're once again going to go ahead and place in the upside down barrels, so just 3 of those, making sure they're all upside down. You don't have any sideways like that. You want them all facing the same way. Then we can grab some more of our stripped oak logs, and we're going to go up 3 blocks this time with just 1 across the top. And then once again, we got our 2 windows here, which we're just going to be using some more oak trapdoors. So essentially the same as around here, just a little bit taller. And for the final side where we have this doorway, it is virtually the same, slightly different though this time. Obviously we have the door in the middle, so we only need the 2 barrels this time, but we're still going to go up by 3 stripped oak logs and have that 1 across the top. But this time above the doorway here, we're going to have an upside down stair, and then we just need our trapdoor in the same place. So temporary block again, get it into position and break it afterwards. The final thing we've got left to do for the outside of the house is, well, as you may have guessed, it's the roof. So we're going to start around this side here with the oak door, and we're just going to place in an upside down stair on the top of both of those logs with a regular stair coming out the back of it. And essentially we just want to repeat that again. So 2 regular stairs, 2 upside down stairs, another 2 regular stairs, and then 1 upside down in the center to give us this, well, roof shape, I suppose. We're going to have a spruce trapdoor on top of this central block, as well as 1 down here and another over here on the other side. So we're left with this, which you can then go ahead and copy round to this side too, exactly the same. And you should be left with this on both of the sides. Now we can go ahead and come to the longer sides of the build, and all we need to do here is add 2 upside down stairs facing into each other, 4 slabs in the middle, and then 6 spruce trapdoors on top of all of those blocks. And as you may have guessed, of course, it's going to be the same on the other side too. So just go ahead and copy it on over as well. Now we're just left with the middle part of the roof, and the first thing we're going to do is grab some more spruce slabs and just add 6 of them going across from one trapdoor to the other. Then we can go to the back of the house, so opposite to our double doors at the bottom there, and we're going to grab some polished tuff blocks this time, some stairs to be specific. We haven't used these yet and they are lovely, I think perfect for a roof texture, so we're going to go ahead and totally fill in this side of the roof. This side, however, is slightly different. We're going to make a couple of very small chimneys. So we're going to grab our polished tuff stairs again to begin with, starting on the left hand side at the bottom here, and we're going to place 2 of them and then place in 2 chiseled tuff blocks like that, and then go ahead and place 3 more. On the next level up, we're going to go ahead and place 1 stair this time and then 2 chiseled tuff again, and just place in 4 more stairs this time going all the way across. And now to make these look slightly more chimney-like, doing the best I can with very limited number of blocks, we're placing in 2 more polished tuff walls with 2 flower pots on top of them like that. And it kind of looks like a chimney. Of course, if you don't like it, just go ahead and get rid of it and fill the rest in with the polished stairs. So that is the exterior of the build all done. We're now ready to head on inside and start work on the interior. Starting down here in the basement to begin with, the first thing we're going to do is just grab some oak slabs and place 4 of them above the double doors here, in line with the top of the tuff blocks like that. Then we're going to place another 4 going all the way across, and now switching over to some oak stairs, starting on this block here, so just across and down from the doorway, and then placing 2 more like so, giving us a staircase to go up and down between the floors. What we can then do is just place in 2 oak planks here and a crafting table here. Then heading upstairs, we're just going to grab some temporary blocks and place them in like that, 3 going all the way across from this stair, and then just face the oak slabs, and we're going to place in 3 spruce trapdoors and essentially turn these into a bit of a railing or banister so you're not able to fall down. Admittedly, it won't actually deal any damage, it's mostly just for looks. We'll come back up here in just a second, but first of all, let's sort out the basement, which is mostly just going to be for crafting and smelting. So over here in this corner, we're going to have 2 regular furnaces, a blast furnace, and a smoker. Of course, if you're not going to get much use out of these 2, feel free to do all furnaces, or maybe like the blast furnace, not the smoker. You get the idea. This is just where you do your smelting, so put 4 types of furnaces in that corner. What we can then do is go ahead and get rid of all of the blocks on the floor and we're going to make it out of brick. I'm using brick slabs just to save on a little bit of resources, but if you don't want to be cheap like me, you can of course just use full blocks. Up on the top floor here, the first thing we're going to do is grab some more spruce planks, and we're just going to place 4 of them in the ceiling like that, right in the center. And then some upside down ones either side facing into each other like that, which is a much better ceiling than what we had before. Then we can go ahead and place a bed, of course any color is fine, just in the back corner there, with a double chest at the foot of it. Now if you're thinking this isn't much storage, you would be correct, a double chest probably wouldn't be enough, but do remember all of these barrels are accessible, so every single one you've placed can be accessed, and you could even just pop an item frame on the front of them if you want to label your storage, and keep this for the important stuff, say. But of course, as always, it's up to you. Then, next to the bed for a little bedside table, we're going to have a chiseled bookshelf. Could use a different block, but I quite like the look of this one, and you can store any books you might get in it, possibly. And then on top of it, just for a bit of decoration, we'll have another flower pot like so. And then the final thing to do, just to light it up in here, is to place a lantern on top, if I can reach, of that upside down stair, which will nicely light up the upstairs and the downstairs, so you don't have to worry about mob spawning. One final thing to mention is that all of these blocks here, like where we have the lantern, you can actually place things on top of. So maybe you want some more flower pots, for example, possibly a stone cutter could be handy, even a grindstone, or some brewing stands if you've been to the Nether already, just to give you some ideas. Essentially, you've got room here if you need a little bit of expansion. But that's going to be it for the tutorial, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you ever so much for doing that. Enjoy the new update, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.